just a couple of months back, you performed Local Lokito at the Recording Academy Grammys.
The intention was the time frame to deliver the performance. But every other thing is, I was super excited. Just the fact that I had to have my name attached to the Grammys. I started as a dancer. We noticed that when we go for dancing, they needed artists to like warm up the stage before the main event. At one point, we just picked the mic and let's just be entertaining the crowd. The rest is history. Lapiro didn't really get his flowers, and I could understand because he had a political narrative to his journey. Look at the way Nigerian Afrobeats are giving Fela his flowers. It's like the same impact that Lapiro had for Cameroon.
Where do we place Jovi and the graph?
Jovi, I had to start searching for myself what God means to me. And I got to realize that everything is just within me. If I have to talk to God, I can talk to my heart and connect. And then I started reading books. So all those things started shaping how I started seeing the world.
You have been very public with your relationship with Mihney. What would I need to know about you both to understand the kind of love that you share?
Her brain, man, she's smart. I can have the most ridiculous idea. She has that time to actually process it and understand where I'm coming from. She can actually vibrate to my level and reason from my perspective.
Dear ARREYB, dear ARREYB.
What's up, my smart friend? Before you jump straight into this episode, there are 3 boxes I'd love you to check while you watch. First things first, please make sure to hit the subscribe or the follow button down below, because the more we grow, the bigger guests we can approach on this platform and the more value we can bring to you here on the podcast. Second, a lot of friends always reach out to me and say something like, "Hey Arrey, I really did enjoy this particular segment of this episode." What I want you to do, if you get to a point like that, pick up your phone and send this to a friend and say, "Hey, check this out, between 10 to 15 minutes. There's something very important I'd love you to see." Also, you're going to find the link to join our 21,000 Smart Friends on email, where you're going to receive an email from me once every week. Plus, down below, you're also going to see links to connect with the guest. So please make sure you tick those 3 boxes and enjoy the rest of this episode.
I think for me, the first thing I want to really ask you is why the name Mic Monsta? Why Mic Monsta? Why not something else? How did the name come about?
I think from the fact like my regular personality or my normal day-to-day personality is very calm, and then on the mic it's like a beast just comes out. It's just being a monster when I'm on the mic.
I know that a lot of people would hear your music, but some of them do not know about like the first time. What was it like your very first introduction to music? When was that? Do you remember that time and how that started?
Yeah, I think way back when I was in secondary school. Then I started as a dancer. We just used to dance, and then we noticed that when we go for dancing, they needed artists to like freestyle, like open up, warm up the stage before the main event. So most of the time there were rappers around that come to freestyle, and other times there were nobody showed up. So that period to just warm up. At one point we just pick the mic and let's just be entertaining the crowd or drop a beat, and all of a sudden we realize that we doing freestyle off the top, but the crowd is vibing. So it moved from freestyling to let's record my first song, see what it sounds like. The first song I did, it just went viral. I had free radio plays around Kumba. Because of the nature of the song, the title of the song was I No Get Chorus.
Mm.
So it was kind of amusing to hear somebody say I no get chorus, but that's actually the chorus. So it kind of make it go viral so fastly, and everybody was demanding for your next song. Which other song are you dropping? Which other song? And then I just took the one song at a time, and then while doing that, I was basically just doing cover for songs that I like. Like if I listen to a rapper and I really like the song, I
Mm.
try to do my own version of that song. So in the midst of me doing covers of my favorite rappers, I got a record deal. So it was just pure passion points, and the rest is history.
When you think about getting into music, what was going through your head at the time when you decide what genre to start getting into? But not just the genre specifically, even the language to start singing in.
Honestly, what made me feel like I could do music was the teaching. I'm a literature student, and then normally as a literature student, it was more interesting to write in English, to write poems in English.
Mhm.
Then I discovered pidgin rap, and it was so poetic because I find the Cameroonian pidgin very poetic. There are many things I can say, and it means like two different things at the same time. I realized I could easily play with the words, and that was the main interest. So just to bring that local culture into the front screen. That was the exciting part. I was just like, I want to export my own culture because I always love the way Nigerians they carry their culture. Like you can easily speak the Nigerian pidgin without even being from Nigeria or ever going to Nigeria. Just the way they sell it in their movies, in their music. And I wanted that for my own culture. I wanted my culture to be on the forefront. And I was like, okay, this is an opportunity to really do this. And I just started working on it.
What would you say at that time were some of the biggest challenges? Obviously, there is one first is having to find a record label. I know that you could talk, give me 1,000 challenges. Uh,
What can I say was the biggest challenge?
Cap money.
I was not really seeing challenges. You know, when you're so drowned in the past, you just want to do it. Yeah. I didn't really, if I had challenges, I wouldn't have been where I am today. The only thing that I can say was the fact that there was no structure to build on. The
Mm,
audience, we had to be like the batch that had to convince people to listen to Cameroonian music,
yeah.
like to convert that belief in people. Because for a long time, we were just consumers. We were consuming Nigerian movies a lot in our living rooms every day is in Nigerian music. Right into our churches, we worship with Nigerian music. So I feel like Cameroonians were consumers for a long time, and all of a sudden there was this
Awakening.
wake up like,
Yeah.
let's become creators. We've consumed these people a lot. Let's start creating. When we decided to become creators, that's when the real work starts. So it was just structure that was not there, and we had to be the ones to like sensitize the public. Right
Mm,
now, people listen to Cameroonian music easily. Back then, we were doing music and there was no platform to even download the Cameroonian songs. I remember I did web designing in school. One of the one of my goals was to build a website that they can just go and download Cambodian music, like just download the MP3. But
mm,
back then there were no platforms. There were very few blogs that started popping up over time. The challenge was just setting that blueprint for the rest to follow. And me, I love challenges. It's not like I wanted the road to be easy. I just saw problems that needed to be solved. And from when we got to the point where finance became the main thing, we already had people that were interested in investing, were collaborators that were coming to propose deals, but the beginning was pure passion point.
mm.
I was never ready to recognize any challenge in front of me.
Talk to me about some of those systems you think have been set right now that were not there before. And you've just made a very important point. Back then, and I think that 1,000% I agree with you, because we always had the thing of consuming from. I remember how they grow. The P Square, they be in
Yeah,
stream, feature it outside, the bash,
exactly.
everything, but the movies, or then a blood money, end of the wicked, whatever, they infiltrated us. But now, as much as we still listen to some of that content, but there's also huge consumption of our own content, which you just said.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think are some of those systems right now that have really helped us to build that attitude to start to consume our own things?
I think one of them, the coming of Boom TV.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Boom TV. Yeah, the coming of Boom TV kind of created a platform where you can easily just do a video and just give to this platform. Although they're dominantly playing Nigerian music and foreign content, but at least we had a channel to consume Cameroon music from. I think back then also there was Chilean music
Yeah.
in Boya.
Steam TV. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was High TV, and now we have My Media Prime. So I think the more we got to have local media platforms,
Hmm.
yeah, now there was a platform that people can at least consume Cameroonian music from. And business wise, I think I've really made good cash from Eno Digital.
Okay.
Yeah, so having platform that you can actually sell Cameroonian music to. But back then we could not even sell. I think we were uploading our songs through SoundCloud with M Nation.
Hmm.
It was no YouTube was not even a big deal back then, and we were doing everything for free. But right now, I can make an EP in a week, post the link on my status, and sell through mobile money on energy and really make cash.
Hmm.
So I think these are some of the structures that made things better.
And I will also add, I think, bloggers. as well. You've
Yeah,
played.
bloggers, most importantly, bloggers. Because back then, there were very few blogs. I think like Jiwanda Magazine, there
Mm-hmm.
was Mode Maison,
Miss Gina promotes. Yes.
Medina Promote,
Ponte,
Camel
Adente.
Vibes. Yeah. But now you can even count the amount of bloggers that are pushing the narrative, making sure that the art is out there. So the growth of the bloggers really, really helped. I think they are doing the major work even because people don't really visit websites. They just go on these blogs to get information and everything.
Mhm.
So bloggers they really created an impact also.
I think that they're going to be happy even just hearing this because I think that sometimes there is the bashing of bloggers don't do this, they don't promote their own. Haven't worked in the space, so I was originally part of my journey. I introduced myself into a space through blogging, and then later on,
Yeah,
I wanted to make a bit more cash. I went to marketing, decided to blend that with my business skills, and then now I'm running my marketing agency and then running the podcast in the
nice.
digital marketing space. But when I was in the space of blogging, I know that there was always the time of just bashing. We don't promote
Yeah,
our own. So I think hearing you say that it's going to be a really big boost to them. I wanted us to segue a bit to something you talked about somewhere in 2023. You talked about a shift that you were creating in your music, and you said your creative style of writing was going to shift from music about just suffering to music about upliftment. Talk to me about why you
yeah.
made that shift. What was going through your head and you trying to create that difference in your message?
I think my second album, Vibes Clinic, was more about healing. So I got to heal from a lot of things, then realized that there was something as the victim mentality.
Right.
So that victim perspective, that's what will make you mostly write songs about suffering. But when you get to heal, you realize that there's a whole lot to live for. There's so many other perspectives. So I feel like after the album, when I released Johnny, the breakthrough and
Mm.
everything, I kind of healed from a lot of things and realized that I didn't want to just talk about my pain and suffering. There are so many topics that I could pick and explore. And that was the shift for me. I think the most important thing was just living that victim mentality. And it's, as a kid growing up in Africa, the victim mentality is not up to you. The mentality, you just catch it.
Mm.
The doctrine from the adults around you, they just pass it on. You get there was a point that I was even limited with knowing the abundance in my state as a being. Just from
Mm.
the fact that you go to school and they drive you for school fees, for example. So you start having some limitations like there are some things that are not meant for you. So if they drive you for fees, your friends the day school they learn you, the day out of class they go back home. After they don't fail, whip you in front of the whole school. All those
Messes up.
limited beliefs. Like when they drive you for school, obviously I'll see myself like some poor man picking.
Mm.
Yeah. So be identifying like some poor man in Pekin, it means some society privileges that they will not be made for you. Yeah, so healing made me to start seeing more of myself. I started realizing that my background does not define my personality. My background has nothing to do with who I can become as a person, what I can achieve, the heights that I can reach to. So some of those limited beliefs, I had to start rewriting them in my mind, like the whole child doctrine, what you know about self, how you see God, how you
Mm.
perceive the world. I had to unlearn certain habits and like basically reprogram my whole mind to be able to manifest the reality that I am in today. So whatever was holding me back was more of a mental thing than
Mm.
physical limitations. And once your mind accepts those physical beliefs, it reflects in your reality. So just shifting my mind from a lot of things, reading new books, watching different kinds of podcasts, traveling, getting closer to nature, learning how to meditate, it made me become a whole new person. And I just had to let go of whatever background mentality that was trying to define and limit my reach.
Mm. I like where you're going with this because I think that a lot of people who listen to you, they might not understand the work that has gone backstage into just becoming who
Yeah,
you are. And yeah, I just like it because I know that I'll give you a very good example, right? So I built some manga 20, I think 2018, 2017, 2018. So, and as you know, we padiment them. Sometimes anger, they humble you, they cause you go back for souls.
yeah,
So
yeah,
somewhere along the line, seeing the crash, I was expecting that was going to be my last bus stop. And I would say that as things did not work out, I go back, I reroute 360. And when I had to sit down with myself and go, what did I do wrong? What do I have to take responsibility for? And how do I even have to use that as fuel to build myself further and go, okay, if Dinga will leave me because say maybe at this time I know we get share, we be checks I will take care of you. Okay, how do I take that money out? How do I
yeah,
put that into myself? Okay, if one of the things that I did, and I could tell you to be honest, that one of the things I did in the relationship, I just didn't man up. And now we get that kind flair for
yeah,
Padima where you could command things. I mean, not command in a bad way,
yeah.
but like that energy of the masculine energy in the relationship.
Just
So
lead,
now I
yeah.
sat down. One time I even decided I went off social media for like 4 months, no Facebook, no WhatsApp, nothing, nothing. I'm like just searching within myself. And I'm going, let me get this. And honestly, what is my relationship from then? What is my mindset? What is from, yeah, of course, the accounts grew, every other thing. So hearing you say that, I'm really just excited. Talk to me more about the journey. What does it look like for you when you are soul searching or when you are discovering yourself more? What are some of the things that maybe you discovered more about yourself that we from the outside perspective did not see or did not know?
I think one of the most important is just limited beliefs.
Hmm.
Yeah, limited beliefs. Even most importantly, what I thought money was. You realize that you go to school and there's no, there's nothing that gives you financial knowledge.
Yep. True.
All through you do for school, finish university, but there's no topic that money. You
Yeah.
get so the way I perceived money at first, it was so
Hmm.
wrong. Like sometimes you be broke and you pray for money, like "Oh, God forbid."
Can do work.
You get I got now to study things and realize that you can only make money if you earn it or if you sell something.
Yeah.
So if I can solve a problem and provide a solution, I can get paid for that service. If I have something, I can buy something, sell it to someone else, I can get paid for it. And that's
Hmm.
just the two ways to make money. If you can make money from any other means, you be maybe inherit it. And money that you inherit, if you don't know how to multiply, it still gets finished. So when I made my peace with the fact that it's either I sell or I earn,
Hmm.
it shaped how I started seeing money. Now instead to pray for money, I can go out there, build value to attract money. And then when I was still going to church, I can say the image
Hmm.
that I had of what I perceive God to be.
Hmm.
I used to think God is this lady or powerful heaven, white beard, yeah, they just be joy, just be angel around me. I dey read Bible as on literature story, they imagine. So I got to realize that the foundation of the spirituality in me was too weak.
Hmm.
So I had to start searching for myself what God means to me. So I had to go on that journey of finding God for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got to realize that everything is just within me. So if I have to talk to God, I can talk to my heart and connect. So all those things started shaping how I started seeing the world, how I started seeing myself, where to tap my confidence from, how to prepare for projects and everything. It was a tough journey because sometimes they reach you, you doubt yourself a bit. All the things I check, I say you work or you work or not, and then I started reading books. I think one of the books that helped me. on my spiritual journey was the Alchemist.
Mm.
So I read the Alchemist and then I started applying that knowledge to my everyday life and realized that okay, on this journey you have to start looking for the omens, which signs, at which point in your life that something happens and you just see that okay, this is God showing me that I'm on the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those different books kind of shaped my whole mindset entirely. And that was just a different awakening for me. Now I got to be aware that I'm the one creating my reality. Whatever I put my attention on, energy flows,
Yeah.
started dictating what's fueling my energy, what's draining my energy, who
Mm.
in my circle is a liability, who in my circle has the power to reinforce my journey. And it made me lose friends.
Yeah. Of course.
Made me disconnect with my family. But that's some of the downside of what it does to you. You cannot go through that journey and become the same person. You sacrifice a lot.
Mm.
So it's a lot of sacrifice and pain that you have to take it for yourself because at that stage there's no blaming. You cannot blame anybody for shit. And then I think one of the other traumas that I had to heal from was entitlement.
Ash. Yes. You hit the nail on the head.
This way danger card will tell you say go visit your uncle, we want go dash you money.
Yeah.
They just have to say, oh your uncle they just get will dash you money each time you visit them. You're just so fucking entitled. So I got to the realization say no man owe me shit.
Good. Thank you.
If they complain of Cameroon and they need support, Cameroon music, blah blah blah. Nobody owes you anything. I got to the realization that if I have two fans, I'll earn it. If I have five fans, I'll earn it.
Mm.
So anybody that comments on my post, I have to reply you, make sure I build that
You're
connection.
appreciative of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started building an online community with my music. So instead of having fans, I shift to creating a community of listeners. And everyone in my community, like all the people I call fans, I know their names, I have their
Mm.
numbers. I can identify when I wish I go into any town, I can call this person that I'm in this place, and they pull up, and it just grew this bond of solid people that you can make show 3 times a week. They will pull up because
Mm.
it's you. They don't even get tired. So just that awakening alone made me just be in control of whatever I was experiencing instead
Mm.
of just getting lost and giving your powers out there and just country hard, you just let go. Cameroon no different, you just let go. There was a lot of retracting of my energy flow.
Mm. I love that you're saying, just like you talk about entitlement. I think that that's one of the biggest ones that kills people. Because all money go, I'm a grande, I call my petit frere, I'm a petit sis at one time, and I go, look, regardless of how much I have, not concern you. You have to find it for yourself. And then I remember one time, I buy my petit frere course. I bought my petit frere a video editing course. And then I bought my
Yeah,
junior sister a graphic design course and I started to train them. I did like with my junior sister, true story. So I started having a call with my junior brother every Wednesday 9 a.m. I did that for 1 year straight. Just to like check in with him. I'll set my
yeah,
alarm no matter how busy I am. And I did the same with my junior sister when she learned graphic design. I said, come, let me teach you how to get clients online. Yes, how you can do this graphic designs, go and write to this person, go and do this. And then, newsflash, all the designs that I've done for my team, for like even the podcast, every single thing for the last 1 year, my junior sister has done that. And then by the time we're checking her records, she has probably done more. She's still in school, but has done more than 500K with her graphic designs because we're tracking it. My junior brother as well, we did
so
that. And then he learned to scale. Right now, he's working on my team, being paid monthly. He edits all of those videos. I said, and I went, no entitlement. But the highlight for me was the day when he posted it and he said, nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you any shit. And then I felt good because I was
Nobody,
like, Petit friend, I
nobody
think
owes
this way I don't need heater for your head
you.
since. And now he's even posting. I go, okay, yes. So just what you say about entitlement, I can totally relate. I'm super excited for you to mention that. Talk to me, which
Yeah,
part of it was there any part of it that was motivated by you becoming a dad? I know that experience changes people a lot.
yeah, yeah. I think me becoming a dad shifted the kind of music that I make.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, from now I gotta start making the kind of music my people will start listening now. So, so my, my next album is whole different energy. It's something bigger than myself because
Hmm.
I really had to push myself, even relocating out of Douala because Douala has this chaos.
Hmm.
It drains you without you even knowing. The city does not go to sleep. So it's hustle 24/7 and there's just a sense of struggle in the air. Like
Hmm.
traffic, all man they busy. You even pass see some person dey sleep now for street. So what that does mentally is like you get to toughen up for big wahala.
Adjust you. Hmm.
Yeah, and life is not supposed to be like that, man. So for that, I moved from Douala to Limbe. I wanted to get closer to nature because now I can go like every week. I'm at the beach to just clear my mind, stay grounded. So that alone, that shift kind of creates some calmness mentally, then increase my productivity.
Hmm.
Because with a calm mind, I can make 3 songs a day. So that alone, that shift in creativity just pushed me into album mode. Then the album is more of everything I learned during my therapy, awakening, finding myself. I just transfer that knowledge into a body of work. Like I said, I want make music where my pikin self will feel listen, find itself,
Hmm.
build his spirit in a different kind of level. So it's more of a mission, if I can put it like that. Yeah,
Hmm.
it becomes more than just a career partner. It's more of like I really need to do this because I know a lot of people that will need it. Conscious music is not the market in Cameroon is not big,
Yeah.
so for me it's a good thing because at least I can be a pioneer or something.
Hmm.
So I'm just taking that chance to just before people get to realize that this is actually something. Let me just build my foundation around the market, and it's been really amazing because the people are really connecting to the message.
It's amazing. You have been very, very public with your relationship with Mihney, and you don't have to disclose what you don't have to disclose, by the way. But I wanted to ask you, what would I need to know about you both to understand the kind of love that you share?
I think it's high level of communication.
Hmm.
Like we talk a lot and almost about anything and everything. Because for someone like me, I don't have a I don't even have a judgmental mindset.
Hmm.
So I feel like if person get problem with me, na that person be the problem actually. Because I have patience, I can understand whatever you think human beings cannot understand. I can really understand because I'm not controlled by my emotions or anything.
Hmm.
So we just have this deep level of communication that we can, and the fact that we're both into music,
The creative
so
space.
there's no limit to the topics that we can talk on. We can be 12 midnight, we are discussing a big business strategy. Like whatever I have to say about the industry, she can connect. Whatever I have to say about marketing, she can connect. Whatever I have to say about consciousness, she can connect. Anything about the art. So it's not like the man they into this, the person they into this. So there are no barriers in that communication space, and that's what just make it easier for everything to flow. Because I
Hmm.
believe the friendship comes first before even the love. Yeah, so the fact that we were just G's, we didn't even start it off as just getting into a relationship.
Mm.
So just my G that we could chill, listen to music, smoke together, talk, and then that move into a relationship. So there's that connection that even if we are mad at each other, we'll still communicate. And in the middle of that, you even forget you're angry about something.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite thing about her so far? Da 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 da.
Her brain, man, she's smart, smart.
Mm.
Yeah, I can have the most ridiculous idea and run it by her. She has that time to actually process it and understand where I'm coming from. So just the fact that my ideas are not confusing her, she can
From
actually
knowing who
vibrate
you
to
are
my
and
level
how
and
you think.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can actually vibrate to my level and reason from my perspective. Just that intelligence alone. That's what makes the communication flow. So I think her brain most importantly.
I want us to shift a bit to something you posted just a couple of months back. You performed local Lokito at the Recording Academy Grammys,
Yeah.
and that was such a huge feat. And when I saw that, I remember watching. I probably watched the video like 10 times. I just put it on repeat while I was watching. I was like, "This is so cool." How does the connection start? When does the call come, and how do you feel in that space when you maybe when the connection is coming? Hey, you have to perform this at the Grammys. What did that journey look like?
I think when I got that email and the time frame was so short, so I was a little confused if I could pull it off
Mm,
within the time frame. Then the good part is the band that I used to perform, I had actually used them last year for First.
mm,
So when I hit them up and they were like, okay, it's possible they can be available. And we just had to go through which song that we could pull off with the time frame that will actually put on a good show. So we all debate on it and settle for local Lokito. And that was the goal from there. But another thing too was the concept of how we wanted to present the performance. But
mm.
it was easy for me because I called Choosy, run the idea by him, and he just sent me some screenshots like, we can do this, light up the set like this, and all the ideas came to life. Then now there was the issue of Ghost Town
Mm.
because schools were about to resume, and the date that we had to present the performance was short because the Ghost Town thing came and nobody could travel to Douala to even do anything. So I had to email them back, plead for an extension in the date. And they added 3 more dates, and we just had those 3 days to just create the magic. So the tension was the time frame to deliver the performance. But every other thing is I was super excited. Just the fact that I had to have my name attached to the Grammys.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a big deal. And being the first hip hop artist to actually be on the global spin platform from Cameroon. And it's at the stage that I'm working towards. My fourth album is more for the international market.
Mm.
So it was just aligning to, okay, we are heading for the international market and these platforms are already coming in. So definitely we're on track.
What did that mean to you to go? I know the years when I started, where you just shared the story about maybe starting with a freestyle and nobody knew that you could do something. And then a
Yeah,
couple of years. I mean, I know definitely those couple of years were not easy. Strategy, plan, hard work, a lot that has gone into.
yeah, yeah.
You look back and go, we started here and now we're on the Grammys, baby. How do you feel at that moment? What does it look like?
I think I kept shouting from Quad to the Grammys. No, honestly, it was so fulfilling. It was so fulfilling. It's one of those proud moments that you're just glad you made that decision. It was so fulfilling, but I didn't want it to feel like it's an I have arrived moment because I knew that there was still work.
Mm.
And it was just like, okay, let's tick and head focus. There's still more to be done.
You come off to me as someone who is very intuitive. As in, you process a lot. You're very strategic. Um, I would say also very composed. Yeah, Because I think that even just from listening to your music, but also having to talk with you and experiencing some of the things you're saying, I know because I would think of myself that way. I would go, I know that I
Yeah,
am very calculative. If like my lady always tell me, you don't say things anyhow, you don't do things anyhow. Because I want to make one move, I know say it's like a chessboard.
yeah,
Where does
yeah,
that come
definitely.
from?
I would not want to say the Aquarius energy because it sounds somehow, but kinda, it's a typical Aquarius energy.
Right. Let me talk about something a bit different. There's a time a couple of I don't know, it's a couple of weeks back, you talked about Lapiro, and you said Lapiro doesn't get full credit and recognition for molding the Mboko language. And I want to read something you said. You said Lapiro
Yeah,
found the bricks to build the whole Mboko language. Some words the way na you carve them independently, where anything where you talk and will sound like which way Lapiro be don't talk. What's them like
yeah.
hungry? We're just talking about that. Talk to me about what was going through your head when you were trying to give Lapiro that credit, and what did you see before making that statement?
The fact that our community does not really give credits like that, like it's to say there are so many unappreciated genius. It's like we
Mm,
can use that word to describe so many talented people in this country. And I don't know, but we tend to believe so much in what's coming from outside that we really ignore what's within.
mm,
And that comes from the fact that we are even trained to even focus on the outer problems and look deep inside of us. But for Cameroonians, it's very easy to find them praising what comes from outside than what we have within. Because just rapping in pidgin kind of changed my life.
mm,
And I'm looking at some of the people that inspire me. I'm like, people don't even get their credit for something that's so life changing. Because being an artist in any country, first of all, it gives you an opportunity to really provide employment for others, even
mm,
help them find purpose. Like I have my guys that have moved out of the street, and if it wasn't for the music, all we would be in difficult positions. Because once you become an artist, now you need an artist manager, now you need a PR, now you need an assistant, now you need a road manager, now you need a security, now you need a stylist. It's a lot of people that you provide something from. A lot of people get to eat a little bit from your plate. And it's such an important thing if an artist finds a purpose because
mm,
it therefore grows the community that they are coming from. And looking at these legends that inspires us to take this path, really, we really have to appreciate them for even putting all that energy out there that can really inspire people to even have a mindset that you can become something for yourself. Because people don't go school, they don't end up getting employment. You cannot really, the school system does not facilitate you to create a job. You instead seek for a job.
yeah, true.
So what these artists do inspire people to find a purpose that they can earn from is bigger than what some schools are doing. So just coming to that realization, I felt like Lapiro didn't really get his flowers, and I could understand because he had a political narrative to his journey.
Mm,
So if you identify like I'm a Lapiro, I'm from a Lapiro movement, it puts you against the government.
mm,
So my thing was Lapiro has already gone without getting his flowers. Look at the way Nigerian Afrobeats are giving Fela his flowers.
yeah.
A young kid in Nigeria can perceive the icon in Fela when the name is mentioned. But it's like the same impact that Lapiro had for Cameroon. And my scary thing was Lapiro has already go down without having his flowers. Let's not make that mistake and not give Jovi his flowers.
Yeah.
Because Jovi is iconic.
I was going to ask you, where do we place Jovi on the graph?
Jovi is the Mboko god. Lapiro kind of just highlighted something that was there, but Jovi took it mold it into a hip hop, and hip hop is more tangible because it comes with a lifestyle. Jovi has more body of work than anything Lapiro ever did. If we have to put Lapiro's work alongside Jovi, it doesn't match up. Jovi has way more body of work on Mboko. So Jovi is the Mboko god. Just the fact that people will come and say, what makes Jovi the Mboko god? One of the nature that God expresses is abundance. Like the sea is abundant, the sky is abundant, the trees in the forest, the air we breathe. You get, and that Jovi, the abundant nature can be seen in his body of work. Like no artist in the history of Cameroon has more songs than Jovi, and he has it on Boko. So he's the face. Even if you don't like him, you cannot discredit that. And I followed that part because I saw the amount of work he put in, and I was like, okay, now work, let's get dirty. So after putting work to I'm around my seven project. I have like two mixtapes, three albums, two EPs,
Fourth album on the way. Uh-huh.
full album on the way. I'm not even close to half of Jovi's discography. So when I'm talking about work, I know what it feels like to make a project every time. Go back into the studio, come back, go in, come back. When you've done that for more than 15 projects,
Hmm.
you respect other artists that are really putting in that work. Yeah, so I'm aware of the amount of work he's putting in that. Wherever I am, I'll have to give that credit that nah, they grand to do something.
Hmm.
And it's just that consistency, that energy to not give up and just show the youth that this is possible because he really proved it. I think the best way to inspire people is to just live the life. You cannot really talk. People don't value talking so much. They will look for the example in how you live. And to even realize people that are really true to themselves, you follow the patterns of how they express, not necessarily what they say. So even if we have to follow Christ, we'll follow the way he lived.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he has really lived that life of consistently putting in work, and if you emulate that, I don't think you can go astray because all my work be chopped evidently. That aspect of hard work, project after project, I can say I copied from just watching Jovi from a distance, not necessarily being under his shadow, but just watching another Cameroonian do it proves to me that I also do it.
Is there any other Cameroon legend you think deserves his credits, but we are sleeping on them?
I think even Magasco, because the industry after Jovi, when it comes to body of work, the next is Magasco.
Hmm.
Magasco has been there, switching genres, not limiting himself. Like I feel like he has really been consistent like that. Mostly about or talk mostly on the urban scene because that's the generation
Hmm.
that I grew up with.
Hmm.
I didn't really get to consume more of the older generation, but from the birth of the urban scene. I kind of see those that were the forefront, those that inspired us to get into the studio. So another Magasco has really done his thing. Stanley too, because Stanley came in with the branding aspect.
Yeah.
It was a different way we start perceiving how an artist was supposed to look like. I remember I was in the university and most of my friends, their laptops had the screensaver was Stanley Enow's picture. There was a picture that he had this black face cap with a Cameroon flag on it. That was too dope, man. So that branding aspect, Stanley kind of raised the bar, and we could just perceive from a picture and feel like, oh God, this person looks like a star. That was a big shift on the whole industry. It changed the way artists start feeling like they have to carry themselves and everything. Yeah. And who else? I think Daphne is already getting her flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blanche Bailey also. She's been on her ground. She's stepped in. I think even Kosi.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
Kosi came in with numbers, and he's been consistent with the numbers. Like even if you want to feel like there's no audience that's consuming Cameroonian music, Kosi comes in and you can now see the numbers. So there are many people that they really came in with an energy that you could see a clear shift from what everybody was doing or what people thought was the bar. And if we are vocal about people getting the flowers, giving credits to those that deserve it, we'll say all these things for the fans to know. But sadly, most of the time, People come in the media and just trash talk the industry. It's like
mm,
nobody has ever done anything inspiring. Nobody is worth being an icon.
mm,
Nobody has an inspiring story. It's just the problems of the industry, what's not happening. And you can almost feel like the industry is going backward. Meanwhile, it's not real. People are seeing the era of complaining that the industry does not have a hit song, a whole 2024. But we are not in the era of hit songs. We are in the era of body of work.
mm.
And if you have to look at the young artists, everybody's been dropping projects.
Do you want to explain that?
I can say for me, where I discovered the shift was during the coronavirus. I released Johnny 2019 and it was viral. Like I can say I had one of the hit songs from Cameroon that here.
Mm,
Johnny was playing everywhere and all of a sudden there was this lockdown. Borders were shut down, people could not travel out of the country. And I had shows, I had booking for Cyprus, Turkey, USA, UK, and with the lockdown, I could not travel. So I got a little depressed for a while. Then I started reading books, and I had to accept the reality for what it is. So it pushed me to the mindset of okay, now that I cannot perform my hit song, what happens? What happens to all these artists with hits that they cannot go out to perform? Nobody's going to the club, there's social distancing. Then I got to realize that most of that crowd now were online.
mm,
So all these people that are home and they're no more online, what do you do with them? Then I started making albums. So now making albums built me a growth in my listeners, more online community, a stronger fan base, if I can say. So I realized that okay, now that there's more audience online, artists can survive from having body of work and not looking for hit songs to perform at venues.
mm.
So that was a shift for me. I realized that all over the world, the industry shift from one hit song to projects. And if you check even the Cameroon industry, people are catching up to projects. Almost all the new artists already have at least one EP to their name. Some are already on the second EP. People are dropping projects, and the industry can only grow from projects. We cannot do the one hit song thing to build an industry. Most of the time, a hit song lasts just 4 months on your playlist.
Mm,
And the next time, once they want to play the song, it's something like it's irritating to your ears because we need song that people can listen to when they're driving. We need song that people can listen to when they're doing laundry. Song that they can listen to when they have difficulties. And if you focus on just a hit song, what's happening to all those other emotions that people have to experience and there's no song to go along with. So that shift in making body of works now as an artist, you expand your reach and some of the things that you say. Even in Nigeria, for example, their industry is built on projects. The first time we heard about P Square, it was an album.
mm.
Two-Face, it was a Grass to Grace album. Timaya, it was the Plantation Boys album. We had CDs of Nigerians right up to Sky B, man.
At the end, we get cassette.
Sky Plus, yeah. So the whole industry is built on bodies of work, and we didn't have the opportunity to go that road because it came with the internet. Everybody wanted to drop one hit song, but to actually keep an audience for a longer period, you need more than just one hit song. You need a full body of work that people can get into understanding the kind of artist that you are, and it helps them spend more time with the artist. If I have to listen to an artist with just one song, I'm spending maybe 3 minutes with the artist. If I have to
Right.
listen to your album or your EP, I'll spend at least 30 minutes with the artist. So, cause subconsciously, the artist with the project has more time with the
Mm.
listener, and that goes a long way. Now you can monetize those listeners. You can influence products to them. You can sell merch to them. So that's the different that had the shift in the industry that I don't know if everybody was aware of what was going on, but I was very aware of the shift and I had to just go along with it. And I think that's what kind of set me apart from my peers because now I have enough audience that I can influence brand products to them, sell, monetize, sell tickets and all that.
Very interesting what you're talking about. What is one message you think that, and I want you to answer from two different sides, because a lot of people think,
Yeah.
just like what you said, they'll go, the industry has not had a hit song. The industry is probably not progressing, and they always want to compare it to like the years around between 2014 and about 2018-ish, something like that. What is one message you would have to say to the audience on how they should approach such times, or if there's something they have to do, but also to artists as well on how they will need to re-understand the times and in terms of approaching their own body of work or creative process, whatever.
The good thing with body of work is that you can listen to an EP of 5 songs, you have at least 2 songs that you find interesting. So you give the audience options.
Mm,
Meanwhile, if it's just one song, if I don't like it, I don't like it. There's no second chance. You
all
get
right.
so the aspect of body of work provides the fans with more options and what to connect with. And them as the consumers, they should try to check out this body of work that these artists are dropping. And if you take your time and listen, you have at least 3 favorite songs that you can even recommend to your friends to check it out. But sadly, we don't even have that streaming culture in Cameroon. Like there will be times I just get on a bike and I just chat with bike man
Mm,
or hear you play my song, them ask you, who say you download this song? Then you tell me, if you just go for now for VMate, you just search and download all. See. So the regular Cameroonian fan does not watch the songs on YouTube. They
mm,
use VMate to just download to their phone so that they can save data and then watch and listen over and over. From YouTube, they watch, it takes the data, they don't even have it in their phone. I think one driver that was carrying me from Boya to Douala told me the same thing. Like if I want to introduce a song for men, I tell inside they drive you. I want go online, so network fit the work. So I just go for VMate, download all things, just show them. They easily see 'em. So it made me realize that the average Cameroonian fan does not have Apple Music, does not have Spotify, does not have Good Play, and shockingly, they don't subscribe or comment on YouTube. So it's a small portion of the fans that are active online. The real fans on ground don't really access these platforms. And it kind of made me have peace with myself because at one time I was rating my success based on I've not had any video that has crossed 1 million views on YouTube.
mm, right.
Yeah, I'll have a song like Johnny that's so big in the country, local Lokito, and it's just 500,000 or 600K views. It's not yet up to 1 million, and I'm like,
What's happening
I
here?
rate myself as big already or what? Then I realized my biggest fan base is the ground zero. It's not even online. And then I noticed that all my 3 albums have surpassed millions of streams across platforms. But my
Mm,
one video has not accumulated millions of streams. So I have more power in the listening audience than the ones that actually go on YouTube. Because now when they download with VMate, it doesn't get registered or anything. So that survey kind of made me understand my ecosystem and what I was dealing with. The fact that our streaming audience is very limited, and even the little power that we have comes from the diaspora. So the top artists in Cameroon, their most streaming market is not even Cameroon. You
mm.
probably see USA, UK before Cameroon or something. If people have to open their Spotify audience, you realize that the diaspora comes first before the local audience. It's just understanding the ecosystem that we are in and how to deal with the dynamics around it that will really just give you a clarity on how to move.
If you just enjoyed this episode, the chances are that you're going to enjoy other amazing episodes that we've recorded, so you can check that out somewhere around this video. Before you go, please make sure you check our 3 boxes. First things first, please make sure to hit the subscribe or the follow button down below, because the more we grow, the bigger guests we can approach on this platform and the more value we can bring to you here on the podcast. Second, a lot of friends always reach out to me and say something like, "Hey Arrey, I really did enjoy this particular segment of this episode." Pick up your phone and send this to a friend and say, "Hey, check this out between 10 to 15 minutes. There's something very important I'd love you to see." Number 3, please make sure to check out the links in the description for very helpful resources. So before you go, please make sure to tick those 3 boxes. Like I always say, my friends, cheers to many more years of shamelessly living and crazily excelling in passion and purpose. And I'll speak to you in the next episode.
Dear